This, David, promises to be a cracking competition. There's precious little between these men, but let's meet them, starting on the left with Georgi Gardev of Bulgaria. Second, as I said earlier this season in Europe, in Trenchin, Khachatryan, who was fifth in the Olympic Games for Armenia. Now the Pan-American champion, Quiroga. Next will be the world champion, Nasarinia of Iran, who won his title in Athens, but was not so fortunate in the Olympic Games. Next to him, Mariusz Rytowski of Poland. He's going to have to do his best to even get near the leaders today. Anishanka of Belarus, he was seventh in Europe, another man who's got a lot to do to be on terms. Milan Dobrev, the Goodwills Games winner at 85 kilos in Brisbane, and Mark Huster, who was world champion in Turkey back in 1994. Could it happen again tonight? Then Azanidze, a real live threat, a European champion this season. Kalancia, 10th in the Olympic Games, and completing the lineup of the 11 finalists today, Ediev of Russia, who've already had success in this hall this afternoon, with Valentina Popova taking the women's 69 kilo class, and in so doing setting new world record marks for the snatch and the overall total. From Greece, he's recovering from a second shoulder operation. He's been to America to his favourite surgeon who looks after all the baseball pitchers, so he's on the recovery road. But take nothing away, this is going to be tough to win. And we start off with the Pan-American champion, Quiroga. Quiroga, the heaviest in the class, weighing in at 84 kilos 82. And by contrast, Mark Huster, the lightest man, tonight at 83.96. And David, that may be significant.
Well, I spoke to Mark just before the start of this competition, and I asked him if he'd reduced his body weight down so that he could get the body weight advantage on purpose, or if he'd just weighed in at that way. And he said that he felt that this was going to be a competition that could be won. You know, body weight could make a significant difference, and he did go down to that body weight on purpose. So made a real effort to be the lightest man in the class.
But now he's got to do the business, lift the weight. Now this is Mariusz Rytowski of Poland. Rytowski, plenty of campaigns under his belt. He's 25 years of age, 9th in Europe this year, snatched 160 kilos, so that's the weight he's opening up on now. And if you look back through the record book, David, he did manage to do 170 in the Olympic Games, but as we always say, the Olympic Games is the absolute pinnacle, so you prepare to do your absolute best there. Whether he's capable of going to that mark, we'll have to wait and see. It's possible. 2 5-kilo jumps after this will get him up to that mark.
Yes, I think that's right. I think people give it their all for the Olympic Games. They consider it more important than World Championships, and this being the first World Championships since the Olympics, a lot of people will have taken a break, etc. So you would expect the standard to be slightly lower.
No problem there. And what we're looking for tonight is a really positive competition, as few failures as possible, because that breeds confidence around the warm-up room. Next man in should be Valencia of Romania, and it is. This man just 21, so recently out of junior ranks. He's a junior world record holder, junior European record holder, 10th in the Olympic Games, and again he's starting here on the weight that he achieved in Sydney, but significantly he actually during the games set a junior world record in the clean and jerk at 205. So that might be his strongest card. Really arms right out of the extremities of the bar, and
yes, and he actually caught that. If you notice, he caught that very, very high. He really didn't even need to go into a full squat. You just watch now. Hopefully we'll see it on the replay. But he pulls this bar so high but he sort of catches it in a half squat position, indicating that there's a lot, and then sort of dips down into the full squat, indicating that there's a lot more there. So yeah, I'm impressed with that lift.
Now this is the Cuban Quiroga, back out again. He's 26, came 5th in the Goodwill Games, Pan American champion. And that's his second attempt, and he's 7.5 kilos better than he lifted in the Pan Americans. When he lifted in Sydney, he actually achieved 165 kilos. So again, he's moving up towards his better marks. Now in action today, 2 British lifters in the B division earlier today, and that was Anthony Arthur, originally from Manchester, 140 and 170 for a total of 310. And the other man in action for Great Britain today, Stephen Ward, member of the Peterborough Weightlifting Club. Well, not so fortunate, bombed out at 145, David, on the snatch, and then did manage to get 180 on the clean and jerk, but he'll be disappointed with that.
Yes, I think he'll be disappointed because he was doing 150 in training. But I think that Arthur and Ward, I think what their sights are set on the Commonwealth Games, and I think they're just slowly starting to get back into training, and this was just an opportunity to get back onto the international platform in their sort of 10-month build-up.
Yes, I think in that sense it's good to see a full British team out here, because it will give them a barometer, in some cases direct reference to some of the Commonwealth competitors who are involved in the competition here at the World Championships. In another sense, they'll see where they are in terms of world level, which again will be a valuable guide for the work they've got to do now over these winter months. But now onto stage, representing Bulgaria, 25-year-old Georgi Gardev. Well, he's been runner-up in the World Championships. That was in Chiang Mai in 1997, and he's been 3 times a European runner-up, and he's opening up on 165 kilos.
Yes, he has a best of 180. So coming in a fairly conservative weight for him, although somebody did say that he had a wrist injury, and as you can see, he's got his left wrist strapped, so I don't know if that has any bearing on the... But that was a good lift, that was a confident lift, so maybe just coming in light, building the confidence.
It's one of 2 Bulgarians, the other one is Milan Dobrev, real youngster. And as I mentioned him, he's going to be the next man on stage. Now, he's only 21 years of age. He comes from a very small village near Plovdiv, and he was out in Australia on his own, and he represented Bulgaria in the Goodwill Games at this weight category, and ended up getting the gold medal. Now, when I say ended up, he was actually second, but Sergo Chakoyan, who these days represents Australia, was disqualified for taking an illegal substance, and that's one Commonwealth competitor who we won't be seeing in Manchester. So Dobrev. He's had a bit of back problems apparently, but that's a good enough start.
Yes, you wouldn't know it to look at that lift.
Didn't have any coaches out in Australia. He was doing all his coaching on the telephone. So at the moment it's Gardev with a light body weight of 84 kilos 18 who leads.
Yes, and what's great is that we've had no failures in this competition yet. Everybody managing to...
Let's not speak too soon.
I did say so far.
Rytowski for Poland now. 5 kilos more than the first time. Now, I did suggest he could go to 170, and it could be done in 2 5-kilo leaps, and that's the first of them. Never really